Hi Flosstube, welcome back to my channel. I'm Matt and this is Augie, my corgi, and this is NBC Stitcher, and this is my YouTube channel where I talk about cross stitch, some books, some other stuff, just kind of what I feel like, but mostly about cross stitch. And so welcome back. This should be Flosstube episode number 34 if I am correct. And today is Friday, October 22nd, 2021. It's Friday evening. So, you know, right out there partying with everybody. No, it's just, I think this is probably the best time to do this, over the weekend. And it's been about 3 weeks since my last video, and I did, my 1,000 subscriber extravaganza, and you know, had several giveaways along with that. So I have the winners of those, which we'll get to in a little bit. I have some stitching that I've been doing. I have a finish that's FFO'd, and I have a a little bit of haul, not a huge amount, and then I have a little bit of book talk as well. Overall though, even though it's been 3 weeks, most of my stitching has been on a few projects, and so I don't have a whole lot of different things to show, but yeah, that's just the way it is. Also, I have been playing Pokemon on the Nintendo Switch. There's a new one, or well, a remake of an old one that's coming out in November, and it kind of got me into playing a different Pokemon game for a while. So I've been kind of doing that, and that's also taken into my time of stitching, and so that's just where it is. But yeah, also it's been really busy at work, and it's kind of where we're at. So let's go ahead and get on into it. I don't have any new starts to show. I do have a FFO that I finished and FFO'd since the last time you saw me. This is Halloween cacti. It's one of the Halloween cacti from Llama Stitch, and it's a Frankenstein with a cactus on his head. When I was stitching it, it really, especially because of the way the zigzag of like the grayer, well, it's not, I mean, it's actually like a light green, but it kind of looks like Bride of Frankenstein hair in some ways. And so when I was stitching it, it was like, this is giving me Bride of Frankenstein, but which is fine. So I stitched this in sulky threads. I made my own conversion for it. There is also two stitches of DMC Diamond in the, I think it's 415 or 414. It's like the silver color. But there was a two stitches of gray that were called for in his bolts on his neck, and so I did those in Diamond, or Diamant, or however you say it. It's not, I mean, there's a little bit of sparkle, but there's really nothing. This is on a 32 count Lugana in, whatever, it doesn't have a name. It's one of the Jody fabrics from Steel City Stitchers. This is one of her fabric of the months. It is really beautiful. There's a little bit of modeling to it, but it is, it's a gorgeous color. Okay, so I finished this onto a craft store canvas. This is a 5x7, and so I'm gonna try to do a video of like how I do my canvas frames or finishing, but unfortunately I don't have something that I could easily, that's finished, that's this size that I would want to put on a frame, or any size, but that I have done and would want to put on a frame, or a canvas. And so it may be a little bit, but there's definitely some seasonal things that I want to do, maybe winter, Christmassy, that I think I will be able to get a finish and try to do a video where I show you how I do this. But that's going to be a little bit, it's going to be after Halloween. Halloween is like a week away, so it's not going to be that much longer, but you know how it is. But as a just like a oral explanation, I take the canvas frames that you can get at Michael's. This came in a 2-pack, this one and that one that, you know, that, by Augie, that you can buy there, and I put a layer of batting over the canvas, and then I put the fabric over it, and pretty much eyeball it. I kind of use a little bit of a ruler, but it's much more freehand. The ones that do not have like a square or a rectangle border, it's a lot harder to tell if they're like a little bit off. So, you know, that's kind of a help, versus something that has like a specific border that's a little bit more tricky to make sure it fits and everything. So, but yeah, this is a pretty inexpensive and it doesn't take that long to finish it this way. And then I just hang it up on a nail and it's good to go. I'm not really sure where I'm gonna put this yet. I don't think he's going on this wall, but it's some of my Halloween stitch. So yeah, that's my, excuse me, FFO. Okay, some more Halloween stitching. Oh, I do have a new start. I apologize. I forgot. Okay, Nithya, Daybreak Stitchery, and I started our Autumn Lane WitcherySAL, where we were starting 2 Autumn Lane Stitchery projects, and decided to, you know, we came up with the name, and then we were going to start it. Initially, we were going to try, Nithya suggested the 1st, but I didn't have everything that I needed to get to it by the 1st, and I wanted also to talk about it in my last video, which I wasn't going to film until that weekend anyway. And then as I was talking to Nithya, I was like, did you already start? She's like, yeah, I'd already started. So I started early as well. So we had said the 15th, and that was the thing, and I put up a thing the next day, but I didn't post about it until after the 15th, but I had started a little bit. And so I started Bewitched, which is this gorgeous fabric, or this gorgeous project from Autumn Lane, and you're getting lots of glare, but maybe there. Autumn Lane Stitchery, and maybe that's better. Yeah, okay. And so that's Bewitched. It's a lovely piece. Now, I did just watch Erin and Cassandra's video they put out today, I think. They do go through a bunch of their market releases, including Bewitched and some of the other ones. The Collectors, which is what Nithya started. You can check out their video. They kind of go through some of the background and some of the like art and different things and stuff, that their process. So that was very interesting, and yeah. So instead, the called for is like a gray fabric, which makes sense. It does make all the colors pop, but I wanted to be a little different. I had this Galaxy fabric from Be Stitch Me that I had got in a fabric in a Friday Night Fight Night a while ago, and I wanted to use this. And so it is a 36 count opalescent linen, and I don't stitch on opalescent stuff all that often, and it seems to be a little more difficult for me. I have purchased some like a headset that has like a light on it and magnification, and that makes it a little bit easier. Normally I don't use magnification, but it is helping on this. I think the combination of the opalescent and the 36 is kind of why I needed it, but This is my start. So you can definitely see the opalescent. It is, so not all the colors are like, it's kind of, on the video it looks like it's blending in. In person you can see it definitely, there's some blending, but the way it is, the pattern is essentially a full coverage piece, and then so there's like an outline. I may outline it in white or something to make it pop out, but I think it'll look great. So yeah, this is kind of, I started in the center, and this is part of the moon. There's some white and some pale blue. I got to start on this creepy house. This is part of a bat, and that's part of a tree, branches and everything. So that's where I'm at. And I do really enjoy this piece, but it is one where I have to use magnification or something, so it's been a little slower than I want it to be so far. But I think with the new headpiece thing that I purchased, that makes it a little bit easier. So hopefully that will keep this going. So that's hashtag AutumnLaneWitcherySAL. You can use it on Facebook. Well, yeah, you can, but or Instagram mainly is where we've been doing it, but you can use it wherever. And then follow that. It does not have to be a new start. It can be any Autumn Lane spooky stitch. I know lots of people did the collectors. Lots of people have started the new Baba Yaga piece, which was from the Trick or Treat box from Black Needle Society. Erin and Cassandra talk about that in their video, so I think we'll be able to purchase it in about 6 months. So when they're going to have the rights back and they can sell it. But if you didn't get the Black Needle Society box, it went up on the vault last weekend, and I think it was already sold out. But if you already have an Autumn Lane piece going that fits in this category, is spooky or whatever, please use the hashtag. It's kind of meant as a way for us to all encourage each other and to see what everybody's stitching and different things that they're doing, because a lot of these Autumn Lane pieces are there's a lot of stitching to them, and they take a while, to speak from experience. But they're worth it. I mean, she's beautiful. They are great. I have another piece that fits into this SAL as well, and the next time I post it on Instagram, I will be using this same hashtag. So this is Potions and Spells. I don't know that well, I do. Hold on. So let's see. Okay, this is Potions and Spells. This came out last Halloween time. Erin released this one. And here's where I'm at. So this is the bottom. I've made my way, a lot of times I'll start in the center and kind of make my way to the bottom, and then kind of work back up, is generally how I stitch. So I've got this bookshelf down here done, the satchel, and just kind of making some more progress. There is a lot of black in this piece and in a lot of pieces that they do. I have changed the magic color from the seafoam to an electric blue, and so I'm using that in my, I made that conversion, but otherwise I'm keeping it the same. This is a 32 count Lugana, also dyed by Jody. This was kind of a one-off thing. She was doing some of these, experimenting with this dyeing technique last year, and I really love it. And so, yeah, I kind of get the feel of like a old-timey window pane type of, look to it, and so I kind of felt it fit with the witch in her tower type of thing that the piece is kind of going off of. So I do not anticipate being done before Halloween on this piece, but I will be getting a good amount of progress on it and definitely want to keep working on this towards maybe getting done or closer next year. Um, potions and spells, Autumn Lane Stitchery, hashtag AutumnLaneWitcherySAL. Okay, next up is a little bit of Christmas stitching. Got a little love early. So this is called Winter Deer by Stitcherovia, which is Emma Cogden, and this is from her Etsy store. She has several books and lots of stuff that you can purchase, it is on an 18 count Aida in an unnamed gray. There is not, it was from Be Stitch Me, but yeah, it's a beautiful piece. I essentially did this part of the deer and then worked over here and filled in a little bit on this tree up here. Catherine, Paper Crane Stitches, was talking about starting this piece, and I had mentioned that I already had it going, and she's like, oh, well, you should stitch with me when I'm starting it. So I did. I put a day's work in here, got this part, and then this and that up there. And so we have a group thread with the Steel City Stitchers to talk about the Holiday Hangover Sal, which is another Autumn Lane piece that we are working on. Some of Kristen and I are working on it with Catherine. Stephanie of Just Keep Stitching just started it a couple weeks ago. But we have a group thread, and then Erica and Aaron are also in it. And we were talking about this piece, and the ladies found these trees to be kind of suggestive of something, and I was like, I don't know, rainbow emoji. Yeah, so that became a thing, and it is what it is, but I've just been working on filling that in, and did a little bit down here, and then the deer. And so I filled in this little swirl up there as well in the deer's head or neck. But yeah, I really enjoy this piece. It's a very easy stitch, and so I'll be continuing to work on it, especially after Halloween. And it was one of my Whip Go goals to work on this 5 days, and so because I worked on it with Catherine, that was a day. I've still got 4 more to do, which is easily going to happen this winter season. But yeah, another stitch along that I have worked on recently is the 100 Owls, which was the free stitch along that Owl Forest Embroidery put out last year. And so I had been I did push through and get the first owl done a couple months ago. And then I haven't really touched it, but it came up a couple weeks ago that maybe I finished him, and then it was like, what should I work on next? I was on Virtual Stitchers on Friday night, and the suggestion was, Matt, how many owls do you have you done? And I hadn't done any more. So I started owl number 2, did not get him finished that night, but I got him about halfway done, and then I finished him the next morning. So I still have another one to do that's kind of the mirror image here, and then there's like a little bit of greenery in between them. But this is on a 40 count Verdal, which is an even weave by Zweigert. And then it was dyed by Brandy at Be Stitch Me. This is her Tree Hugger colorway. Because it's even weave, it dyes a little lighter than it does on the linen or stuff. But for the most part, I mean, everything's visible. And yeah, he's washed out a little bit, but yeah, you can see him perfectly fine. I'm doing it with the DMC. I didn't get the thread pack, but their threads are great, are gorgeous. Kate, Stitchy Aardvark, did several did this piece, and she did it with their threads, and it's amazing. She's done several of the Owl Forest pieces, and they are great. And then this needle minder is from the fall box from Bee Stitch Me, so I added that on there. And then I just have one more piece that I worked on. So I told you it wasn't a whole lot this time. So this is the Pointed Fifth by Long Dog Samplers. And this is actually what I've been working on the most, I think. So had I finished? I think I don't know if I had finished this peacock piece. I think I had, but if not, I finished the peacock down here, and so I'm doing most of this in a Silks for You, and I don't have it with me. But the border is in this rainbow color Silks for You hank that I had. And then as I'm finding other little things, I'm doing it in a different color. So these little tableaus, scenes, whatever we want to use the noun for it, I'm doing in like a color that's kind of related. So like this seahorse I did in this bright yellow because there are bright yellow seahorses. These ducks I did in these two different Mrs. Sadis silks because I like both of them, and they kind of gave me duck vibes. This peacock I did in another Mrs. Sadis called Darling, which is a beautiful, beautiful peacock blue to teal color that it's amazing. If you can see, there's some variegation to it, but well, there's definitely variegation to it, but it's just, you can see that it's gorgeous. I love that silk. It's so great to work with. All of them are, both the Silks for You and Mrs. Sadis silks. So I've worked up here, and I think I had even part of this started. So maybe not. It doesn't matter. So I did these bunnies. They are in a Threadworks color. I don't have the numbers here, but I believe it's called No More Blue or Blues. I don't remember. It's a gray, but it's like, or Blue Days. It's a gray color. I thought it looked kind of like bunnies, and so I used it. Then for this plant, I used Irish Cream for the foliage, and then I used, Sugar Plum, I think is something like that, for the actual flowers. I don't know what this brown is called that is for this lion, but it's not, it's also, all of these are Threadworks. So I have a stash of Threadworks from my, from getting the nest egg from 3 All Threads, and so I've been using that, essentially picking something to be so these are two lions that'll be on either side of this castle, and so they'll be in the same color of this brown. I kind of thought that looked like a lion, more like a lion in, a coat, lion's coat. So I did that, and then this castle is blue. This is a different Silks for You. This is the thread that I'm using on Castles in the Air, which is another Long Dog Samplers piece. And this motif reminded me of that piece. So I kind of pulled it over and used that on the same thing. The fabric is a 36 count vintage country mocha linen. It may actually be 32. It was supposed to be 36. That's what I purchased. That's what the sticker said, but it seems it's a little bit wide for 36. Now, this is not hand dyed. It's printed. The modeling is printed on it. So that may be why I'm feeling it's a little off. I tried counting and it seemed like it's closer to 32 than 36. So I don't know. But I know I've got enough fabric this way. So I'm making my way up to make sure that I have enough fabric we don't have a problem. I could count it, but that's a lot to count. And yeah, so I'm doing that. And then I'm starting to work on this. There's, it'll be like over here. It'll be equivalent to over here. But I'm kind of playing around with how I stitch up the rainbow to see how the colors pool differently and, what kind of works for me. And yeah, there's like another plant up here and I'm going to use the same colors. And then there's some birds up here that I've picked out a color for them as well. And then, my way up. I also finished this scene of this bird. I did this just in the border color because there's some like birds here and different things in these triangle, and there's like, I guess, things down here too. But I just did them in the whatever color. I'm not, picking something else. So that's this. I love this piece. I'm not stopping doing long dog castles in the air, but I had started castles as my long dog leap day Sal piece, which is started by Aaron to Martini Stitcher, February 2020. And it was like started on leap day. I started a little early, but sometimes you got to, you're excited. But I started long dog castles in the air, and I enjoy it, but there's a lot more black work and kind of stitching like that on it. I'm really loving this piece, and to the point where I want to work on this more than I want to work on castles in the air. And so I have decided I am switching what project I'm doing for Leap Day Sal. And the idea is that I will have it done by next Leap Day. So that's 28 months, not counting this month, but I would have 28 months to get there. I think I did the math right, because if we go 2 years from now, that would be October of 2023, and then November, December, January, February. So 4 months, 28. And that means I have to stitch like more than 3% a month, which there's a lot of stitches here. It's several thousand stitches a month. I think it's doable. So we'll see. I really enjoy this piece a lot. Maybe I kind of like that as a goal, and so I'm trying to meet that. So that's Long Dog Leap Day Sal, my new submission for Long Dog Leap Day Sal, which wasn't out at the time of the last leap year, but I want to get it done by the next one. So yeah, it is great. I have really enjoyed using all the different colors. I'm just kind of picking as I come up to something. I'm like, okay, that's a lion. I'm thinking maybe a brown for that, and look through the different colors that I have. And this one doesn't have much variegation to it, but it is a really pretty color. So, and then okay, that reminds me of Castles in the Air. So I'm going to use the same silk from that. And so I did. But yeah, these are great. And I have it in Pattern Keeper. So figuring out how much percentage and all of that I can do, and I can do the math. So that is the last of my stitches. I do have some, let's do the giveaways announcements. So last video I did an this is my 1,000 subscribers video giveaway extravaganza is what I called it. And so I listed out several things to be a giveaway. Oh, sorry. This is, you can see, this is a Moira Rose caricature. This is, I don't remember the artist's name, but it's available on hunties.com, which is was recommended to me by none other than Chris Crossstitch. There's several artists on there, but one of them does great caricatures of different people, and this one of Moira Rose, Catherine O'Hara, is just amazing. So I got it on a t-shirt and I enjoy it quite a lot. So the first thing that I announced for the giveaway was a pattern from Autumn Lane Stitchery that would go along with the Autumn Lane Witchery Sal. So I will get in contact with you. I did these all on my computer, and I was on the phone with somebody that I was talking to, and so I didn't take pictures of everything. I took pictures of this one, but I didn't take pictures of the other one, so I'm not gonna put them in because there's only one to do. Then I realized, oh crap, I've done 2 drawings and I didn't take pictures of those. So anyway, so the first person that I drew, and the way I did this was I put in the keywords that I had listed, and we got back, if you came up in the first one, then if you came up again, one person could only win one thing. You know, that kind of thing. So this was Christine Foster. And she commented for the giveaway. I will post on your comment, and if you could give me either message me on Instagram or an email, I will put my email address associated with this account in the drop down, and I will check this email. I don't usually check this email because I don't use it for much, but I will, and we can get the details of what pattern you're wanting to do, and this is one of the witches or whatever that would fit along that, and how you would like to receive it, if I can get it mailed to you, or if you want to go a digital route, I'll contact Aaron and see if there's a way that I can pay for it and he could send it to you, or Cassandra, and see, you know, how we can do that. So let me know what it is that you're wanting, and how you would prefer to have it. You know, if you are a digital pattern person, I prefer that because I generally put it in a device to stitch from, and so but their paper patterns their leaflets are gorgeous, and those are really great as well. I also am giving away this piece of fabric. This is an 12 by 17 piece of Lugana in the Stellar colorway from Picture This Plus, and the winner of that is Donna H. So Donna, if you could comment or send me a message on Instagram or send me an email, I need your address so that I can send this to you, and so you can have this to enjoy. And then I had several of the needle minders that I make from the little agate slices that I was going to give away. This lovely black one. This is going to the Desert Stitcher, who I just talked about in my last video. So yay! Send me a message on Instagram. We may have chatted. I think we did. So yeah, give me your address and I will get this to you. Then we have the pink one, which was Dreskin Daniela, I think is, so the pink one, Drescan Daniela, send me a message on Instagram or send me an email with your address so I can get this to you. Then we have the green one, and this is DO2 Moon, or D02 Moon, I think. And so again, send me a message on Instagram or email, and I will get this out to you. And then the cloud one, which that was what I decided to call this, Serena Stitches. I believe I know who you are, and we have talked before on Instagram. So send me a message or email me, and I will get all those out to you all. Magnets are fun. But yeah, and okay, haul time. So I have a little bit, not a huge amount. Ooh. I forgot to scan those. Okay. I'll just show them next time. So, I got my fabric of the month from Jody in for this month. I think she's still working from her wait list. So, give her a follow. And I've been getting 32 count Lugana. So this is this beautiful gray blue. It's more blue in person, but it's kind of certainly got a gray like tint to it, but yeah, gorgeous. And then this beautiful peachy coral color, which is also amazing. So she does a fabric of the month. She does 8s is what you get, and she just picks, she dyes a bunch of stuff and sends you colors. It's not, nobody gets the same stuff. Or well, you'll get some stuff that other people are getting, but she's not giving everybody the exact same color, or the same 2 colors. She kind of, it mixes up. And then I ordered from Garon Stitchery some things. 2 of them are the new Nora Corbett Bewitching Pixies that are witches. They're not pixies. Well, yeah, they might be. That came out this last month or so. And I put them in my bag to scan them at work, and I forgot to do that. So they're still in the folder. And so I will show them the next time. But I also ordered some fabric from them, and which they have a bunch of different fabric at different times. So Gary does a great, and Ronnie do a great job of ordering from different fabric dyers, and they've got a lot of different stuff. So give them a check out. They do it, for the most part, they're in fat quarters. They do have some halves, but generally it's that. They don't do, I don't think they really do custom cuts. So, but one thing, I love Bee Stitch Me. I talk about her fabric all the time. The one thing that, so like the way her Ada is cut, it's kind of a smaller quarter than you would get if it was linen or Lugana or Joblin. And so, it is what it is. But that is why some of the, so I don't typically buy a lot of Ada from her unless I get like a much bigger piece or custom or something because of something I'm trying to do. But just to like build up my Ada stash, I don't do that very much. But there were some beautiful colors from Mystic Fabrics that Garon had, and so I picked those up. This is Mother Nature, which I may have this in another thing, but which is a beautiful green colorway. Kind of like camo-y green. There's a little bit of blue to it. And this is an 18 count Ada, beautiful piece. Amazing. So yeah, so Mother Nature, Mystic Fabrics, and then this was the only Mystic one. I got 2 other fabrics though. Well, wait. Just kidding. Okay, so I also purchased Sea Glass. Now this is a 36 count linen, but I thought this just looked beautiful, and it is also amazing. 36 count linen, Sea Glass, Mystic Fabrics from Garon. It's gorgeous, and yeah. And then I also purchased Fiber on a Whim is the dyer, and this is Muted Sedona, also an 18 count Ada. And isn't that just, oh, that's a gorgeous brown. I love that color. There's just so many like bright light things that would just pop on that. Ugh, so good. So, because we all know I have a fabric session. I'm not running out anytime soon, I can tell you that. I may need another container soon, but we're not going to talk about that. So that's all. So 5 pieces of fabric, 3 of them purchased, and then 2 are part of my Fabric of the Month clubs. So yeah, so that's that. That's everything. I do have some books to talk about, but just a few. And then that's pretty much it. So if you're, stick around and listen to some books, or listen to me talk about some books, or, come back and see me next time. However you want to spend your next few minutes is up to you. So, okay, I finished 3 books, and I haven't really been in much of a book mood. I'm almost done with the 4th one though, but I'm like an hour away, and I didn't want to, kind of get into that. What the heck? No. Okay, I did something. I'm not sure how that. Anyway, okay. Well, I didn't talk about this before, did I? No, because I didn't talk about books last time. And I did not. Okay, so first up, I read Rosemary and Rue by Shannon McGuire. Here is an image of the cover that you can get on the audio format. So Shannon McGuire wrote the Encrypted series that I just finished the last time I talked about books. And this is another series. This is the first book in her October Day novel series. October Day is the name of the main character. I don't know if the series has a different name. I think it does, but I don't remember what the series is called. So this is more based on fairy tale kind of stories, and it's an urban fantasy like set in mostly San Francisco area, Bay Area, California, and the main character, her name is October Day. She goes by Toby. She is a changeling. She's a half fae, half human, or not a pureblood, I guess is the way to. Her father was human, and her mother is fae, and so she she is acted as a investigator at times, and so she kind of gets caught up in some different things. This is more mature in the sense of like, it's not as comedic as the Encrypted series. Also, like the start of this book is the main character getting caught by somebody she's been following and getting stuck inside she gets turned into a fish for 10 years or so, or more than that. And so like there's very high consequences to the characters here versus what happens more in the Encrypted series is a little bit more lighthearted in that kind of sense of mature. It's not really like, this is not a romance series or something along those lines that there's going to be a lot of that stuff. So but yeah, so I enjoyed it. There's quite a few books. I think there's 13 or 14 of them. And I have purchased the second one, but I have not gotten to read it yet. I liked it. I will continue to read it. So I will let you know when I get to there. Okay, the next book is an audio, at this point only. This is called Lux, a Reckoner's novel by Brandon Sanderson and Steve Michael Bowles. So the Reckoners series is a series, a young adult series by Brandon Sanderson that I've talked about before. I haven't read it in a while, but it was one that I recommended, like a series from my bookshelf, which I don't do that anymore. I should probably do that again the next time I talk about stuff. So kind of the premise is people start getting superpowers, and it's set on like Earth, but like kind of a post-apocalyptic Earth. People started to get superpowers, and instead of becoming like superheroes and villains, everybody that got superpowers turned into a villain. And there's like a story behind it, obviously, and there's a whole thing, and that was very interesting. And that's the original trilogy, the Reckoners trilogy. It kind of follows David, I think is his name, the main character, and then a group of people called the Reckoners, which is kind of like a rebel militia of people that are trying to stop the epics, which those are the people with superpowers, and you know, fix the world essentially. And so we have here, this follows a group of Reckoners that live in Texas, and there's some connection to the main characters in the original series. The kind of one of the leaders of the Reckoners, Prof, is in this book as well. At the beginning, well, it kind of goes around in story. Like you're kind of like, this is happening, and then they kind of go back and then kind of bring you back to that point and then go from there. But the main characters here are a group of Reckoners from Texas, and they are taking on a group of epics that have created a flying city. And essentially the city, which is called Lux, which is the name of the book, is kind of going around and going to different places and kind of taking whatever it wants. It kills the other epics, they kill the other epics at the other places, and then kind of move on to the next, and you know, people and everything. And so there's a group of different epics in the city, but it's led by what is his name? I can't remember. So they always take these epics, they take on like, it's, you know, they had an original human name, but then they take on some like, you know, code name or whatever as their new name. So like the original series, Steelheart is the name of the guy, the high epic that is controlling what was Chicago and New Chicago. And here we have Life Force is the guy the epic that is the high epic that's in charge of Lux. And then there's a couple other epics that are working with him, Stormbreaker, and or is it Cloud Strike, Stormbreaker, Languish, and you know, some others. So it's a really interesting book. I enjoyed it. It's a little more adult than the original book. Just the it is like the main character is a young adult, but the like what they put him through in the series comes across more adult than the original series did to me. At least my perception of it from book to book. It's very good. So it's by two people. I think Brandon had help doing this, but it's Brandon's world. And then at the moment, it's only through audiobook and only on Audible. I believe Brandon is going to be releasing it as a physical book in the future, but they have made they're still working on that. It's not going to be out right now. So there's, I think, a period of time where it's exclusively to Audible, and then he'll publish it a different way as well. So And then the last book that I finished this week, or no, last week, is called A Veiled and Hallowed Eve. And this is book 7, and I believe the final book of the Soulbound series by Haley Turner. I've talked about this series before. This is a gay romance series, paranormal romance, urban fantasy romance. I keep saying romance, but like, and it is there's a lot of very graphic. Well, this book is more battle. This is kind of like okay, we've been kind of building up to this. There's this giant fight between a whole bunch of these different gods and deities, and this the main character, his father that is trying to become a god, and then a bunch of the gods that are trying to stop him, and this guy, and it's a lot. And then there is like occasionally he and his now partner, they're not married, but like the werewolf that he has been the head of a pack with for several books, they break into a sex scene or something along those lines. It's good. It's there's a lot of battle here. I mean, it's essentially like, oh, this is happening, then they're going over here. There's a lot. It's enjoyable. I totally enjoyed it. And yeah, it's a she didn't say it was the final book, but this kind of resolved a lot of the main storyline. So there is an end to the battle. So that it was really good. There is I don't know that I've said this the last time. I may have, but like the author has a tendency to use the word cock a lot and like doesn't deviate from that. Like the characters refer to their cocks just as that word. It came across as a little distracting because it's a little like maybe you want to change that up a little bit. There's different words for that. I don't know. Or maybe it was the way the narrator is like said it, kind of like stuck out a lot. But yeah, that was interesting. I mean, it's been that way the whole series, so this is not a new part of it. But I did enjoy it. And it was what it was. I think there's more sex in the other books just because the world is not on fire in the other book. I mean, it is in different, but it's small fire. This is not like an inferno as this book is. And so there's not a lot of downtime. And, they're not just like, oh, there's, it's not like, oh, there's a giant battle and then they have to have an orgy to stop it. That doesn't really happen. But yeah, it was enjoyable and I quite enjoyed it as well. But this is not Red, White, and Royal Blue or something like that. This is, it's more closer to the enjoyable smut angle. But yeah, that's the last of my books that I have finished. I am about to finish another one. And so I will definitely have something to talk about next time. But that's pretty much it. And I'm under an hour. So thank you all for stopping by. Those of you that did win the giveaways, please get in contact with me. If I don't hear from you all, I will pick a new number. I will redraw. So I'll give it about at least 2 weeks. Probably by the time I do my next video, if I haven't heard from you, I will comment on your comments and I will, please give me a shout back so we can figure out how to get these things to you. And yeah, I hope you all have a great upcoming 2 weeks and enjoy your stitching time, and I will see y'all later. Bye.